In this video, we will break down principles of constructing daytime setups. What is light motivation, negative fill, and key? And we will start with the concept of key light. The key light is the source of light that predominates and dominates in your frame. The key can be any type of lighting, such as a controlled side light or a modeling light. It all depends on the setup and the angle from which you are shooting. The key is the most important element of your lighting setup, and most people start building their setup with the key. In this video, we will return to this concept, and you will see that with a change in the setup, different fixtures and different types of light can serve as the key. Now let's understand what light motivation is, as it is an extremely important rule that must be used when constructing realistic lighting setups. Simply put, light motivation is your justification. Why did you place this type of lighting in this specific location? For example, if all the windows on your location are on the left, then all the fixtures will be placed on the left side, motivating the daylight. An example of unmotivated light could be a light controller that comes from a dark corner in a dark location and logically shouldn't be there. Remember, in the first video, it was mentioned that our main task when working with light is to make it so that the viewer doesn't even realize that we used any fixtures, and light motivation will accomplish this task. So let's move on to setting up our first lighting scheme. Our location is the kitchen. After setting up the camera, we adjust the exposure to the brightest spot in this location. Here, it's the window and the white barn doors, but when we did that, the entire space became much lower in exposure and simply dark. So the first thing we will do is set up the key light. In this case, it's the Aperture 600D fixture with a large softbox, and we are using the rule of light motivation. This fixture is placed on the window side. It serves as both the key light and the fill light, working on the model's face. Our next step is to work with the background, and here we use the Aperture 300D fixture, along with a light modifier such as a spotlight. This attachment focuses your light, and you have the ability to shape and cut your light beam using special barn doors. This fixture is part of our setup. A ray of sunlight hitting the background saves the scene. Our image gradually comes to life, and the model's face is already brighter. The background is worked out, but for some reason, our scene still doesn't look realistic. This is where fill light comes into play. Fill light is diffused light that evenly fills our location. The simplest way to add fill light to your lighting setup is to direct one fixture at the ceiling. But if the static location has a different color, red, blue, green, then accordingly your entire location will be lit with that color. We turn on our third fixture with this color and see how our image fills with the necessary space and air. We make the final adjustments to the power of the fixtures, and our basic daytime setup is ready. Let's go through the 3 steps we took to build this setup. First, we placed our key light. Working as a fill light for the model, the next step was to work with the background, and the final stage was adding fill to our location. This setup is basic and quite simple. Now let's improve it. Remember, in the first video I mentioned that the sun is a source of hard light that gives warm, golden rays. On the other hand, the sky is a cool, filling light that spreads evenly. Let's add more sunlight to our setup by introducing our fourth lighting fixture, which is the Amaran 200 with a Fresnel lens. In our setup, it simulates sunlight. So we set it to a warmer color temperature and use the Fresnel lens to concentrate it. At 3 points, namely on our model's hands and just below the chin. Adding extra realism to the frame when constructing schemes. involves mixing soft and hard light. Basically, that's what we just did. Our second device, which works on the background, also simulates sunlight, but it has a constant temperature of 500 to 600 Kelvin. We will carefully attach a warm filter to our device to match it with the device that also creates a sunlight theme, but directed at our model. The final step in perfecting our scheme will be adding a black flag to our device. We place our flag in front of the key light to separate our model from the table by exposure. Our scheme is ready, and now we can move on to close-ups. Remember this extremely crucial and fundamental rule, and always keep it in your mind as a guiding principle. Always start building the lighting scheme with wide shots or master shots. If you do everything the other way around, and set up your lighting scheme first for a close-up and then switch to a wider shot, you might find that you simply don't have enough space to position your equipment. The closer the shot, the more detailed the lighting scheme we can set up. In this case, to soften our key light, we place it closer. We replace the softbox with a smaller one and add an additional frost frame. This setup gives us soft light on our model's face. An interesting fact is that the viewer does not notice the hard light on the main character's face in wider shots. That is why we can always soften this light when changing the shot size. Let's summarize how we built this scheme. First, we determined the position of our light. Using the motivation of light, we positioned all the devices on the side of our window. We added key light, defined our background, and added fill light to our space. Along with the soft key light, we combined a device that simulates a hard beam of sunlight. Using a black flag, we separated our main character and the table by exposure. In the next video, we will discuss what negative fill is and how to raise the exposure in the frame.